All right, be forewarned. Your Uncle Dave might actually sound hungover, but he's just not feeling well. It has nothing to do with alcohol, like what you're dealing with. Because, of course, it's Saturday morning, September the 2nd, 2023. You are here for your Saturday morning hangover cure, otherwise known as Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition.
Because we know you've already got your coffee, your eggs and bacon, sausage, whatever you like. Maybe a breakfast burrito to change things up a little bit, slathered with some Frank's Red Hot, because you put that shit on everything.
I discovered, by the way, last week, great Saturday morning hangover cure food, Bob Evans. You can find it in your freezer case at your local supermarket. Stuffed hash browns.
Really?
Hash brown patties stuffed with cheese and sausage.
Nice.
Bob Evans sausage.
The only thing better would be chorizo.
Yes, I would agree with that. Everything is better with chorizo.
Stuffed jalapenos with the chorizo and the cheese melted on top.
We better be careful. We're probably either sending half of our audience out to find the food, or half of them to the bathroom.
Talking about that greasy good stuff.
As always, we start off each and every episode with our passion, our love. That would be rock and roll. And yes, we are still in the middle of the Festival of Rock, even though the summer is not quite over yet, but getting close. Still got some concerts on the agenda.
Down. We've got stuff coming up yet. It's not over till it's over.
Right. And this week, we have for you our review of The Offspring, a bucket list band we have been dying to see for decades.
Finally, the opportunity.
Along with Sum 41 and Simple Plan. Of course, as we review the concert, we will have to bring in the ancillary details because of how people suck and don't have any respect
for anybody else around them.
But anyway, you can take that as you will. You can take it. We're being grumpy old men.
Concert etiquette, people. You don't throw beer in the lawn from up top down to hit somebody or let it spill on them.
I don't see how anybody can argue with that.
Respect the space of people. Stop stepping on people's feet.
But let's we're not going to do the set lists for Sum 41 and Simple Plan, but I think it's important to discuss how we kind of viewed them differently. Because I thought Sum 41 was probably better, despite the fact that they didn't get the video support or the audio support.
Yeah, they got
Simple Plan
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sum 41's sound was the worst of the night. I don't know what the hell happened between Simple Plan and Offspring.
Right.
Where there was that big of a disconnect on the sound.
Right. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, Simple Plan got everything. They got all the close-up cameras, so they got the full video treatment, and their sound quality was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Sum 41 comes on,
and
what'd you say?
They got the static camera angle that looked like NFL films from 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah, it's
just horrible.
No close-ups, nothing. No. Just a camera shot from far away. So basically, it didn't do you any good if you're on the lawn like we were. You're getting the same view that you're getting from...
It was bad.
But, and again, sound quality was bad too. I still think
they had the better set.
Yes. I think in the end, they would have been the better band of the two openers if we had gotten them with the better sound and the better video that Simple Plan got. Because I told you, I don't like Simple Plan's
the emo
lyrics.
crap.
My life sucks. I don't like anything. You don't like me, but I still want to sleep with you.
But she doesn't like me, and she ran off with the other guy.
I'm not a fan of that music.
I
at
hate
all.
emo bullshit.
So, simple point. Let's put it this way: not the worst opening act I've ever seen, but definitely not even close to the best.
No.
And again, Sum 41, I think I would have enjoyed more with better sound.
Yeah, they would have been better with the better sound quality.
But then we get on to the band that really and truly mattered. And of course,
the reason we were down there.
My phone calls and my emails paid off because they started off with the original theme song from the original version on public access television of this show, Sports Frenzy. They started off with Come Out and Play.
Oh, it was glorious.
Gotta keep them separated.
Oh.
Of course, Dave tells me after the song, okay, we can leave now.
All right, we're good. You were quick to agree.
Yeah.
We were happy.
Yes.
Come out right up, firing on all cylinders right there. But before they came out, they had the best time filler stuff going on.
About half an hour.
A half hour. They had a countdown clock, but they kept everybody engaged, throwing up different things. You had the guy in the gorilla mask coming out, firing off t-shirts and doing whatever, interacting with the crowd. Offspring trivia.
The kiss cam.
The kiss cam. I mean, they just
And the one guy who took his girlfriend or his wife's head and immediately shoved it down
crotch
and got the standing ovation from the crowd.
I mean, that was great to keep
more bands need to learn from this.
Yeah, instead of just playing the same tired songs while watching the roadies set everything up, they kept everyone engaged.
Yes.
And it was brilliant.
Yes. Absolutely. I completely concur. This is what other bands need to learn from. This is the kind of stuff you want to keep us entertained. Do stuff like this.
Yeah, have some fun with it.
Don't keep playing the same old tired loop of Sweet Home Alabama, Panama, and Thunderstruck at every concert.
I mean, my God, before they came out, we had sing-along time with Take On Me. Playing the video
Who
for
would have
it.
thought?
And they had the lyrics up there with the bouncing little dot and highlighting to keep everybody going. And the place went nuts with it. Everybody was singing.
Who would have thought? If you'd put money down, what song will the Offspring play before they come out on stage? Who would have said, Take On Me by Aha? But it was awesome. Brilliant, beyond belief, awesome. Now, I will admit, over the years, wanting to see the Offspring, you build up the legend, you build up the hype, and you're like, I'm setting myself up for disappointment.
The surf punks coming out of California.
Are they really going to be that good?
And the answer is yes. Yes, they were that good.
Hell freaking yes. Met my expectations and exceeded them.
Absolutely.
Just
so much damn fun.
Just short of an hour and a half set. The set list they put together, outside of the fact Dave and I agreed we wanted to hear a personal favorite off of Days Gone By.
Yep. We didn't get Slim Pickens Does the Right Thing, but that's okay.
We weren't expecting it. This is not Silver, Blue, and Gold.
That's right. The Silver, Blue, and Gold would have been Come Out and Play.
And like you said, we got it right away.
We got it right off the bat, no worries.
So we get Come Out and Play, All I Want You Bad. And then, of course, from the latest album, Let the Bad Times Roll, Staring at the Sun.
Original Prankster, Hit That. That was kind of fun.
Yep.
Especially watching the two horrors in front of us.
Then you get Hammerhead, Bad Habit, and then this Noodles gets to show off on the guitar.
Yeah, he gets to play around a little bit, so you get the hodgepodge of Iron Man, the Trooper, Sweet Child of Mine, In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Where he's dueling with himself on the video screen.
Yeah,
a
Video Noodles.
A caricature of himself playing In the Hall of the Mountain King. And then they come out with the Ramones cover, Blitzkrieg Bop.
Place
Hey,
went nuts. Let's go. Hey, oh, awesome.
Then Gotta Get Away, which I love, love, love.
So good.
Then they dial it down.
Yep, break out the piano.
Again, technically off the new album, this slower version of Gone Away is what they put on Let the Bad Times Roll.
But very well, it's well done.
It is. It worked well in this situation.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of it on the album.
No, but in concert where you get everybody singing along with it.
And then just after this,
boom!
Just went nuts. Why don't you get a job? Mom's got a boyfriend and he hates that dick. And then I personally love Can't Get My Head Around You. I think that is the strongest.
One of the best songs they have.
Yep. And then we get, of course, Give It To Me, Baby.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. And all the girls say he's pretty fly for a white guy.
Come on. You knew that was going to be a highlight of the night.
You knew they
had the little
that.
blow up like you see at the used car lot.
Of the guy, the wannabe dancing. Oh, it was awesome.
And then they close out the initial set with The Kids Aren't All Right.
Which, happy to hear.
Yep.
Now the encore.
Yep, we come back in with You're Gonna Go Far, Kid. And then the massive sing-along where everybody,
oh my God,
everybody sang Self-Esteem, word for word. Everybody was down with that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, let everybody walk out to the parking lot with Sweet Caroline.
It just an awesome freaking show.
Again, better than I expected.
Oh my God.
With
I had high
building.
hopes, but like you said, it exceeded. They were fantastic.
I didn't know how much
we had built up. This is one of the two bands that we were dying to see.
Right.
Offspring and Green Day. Green Day was a disappointment.
Yep.
Offspring frickin' brought it, killed it, couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I was worried. I'll tell you the one thing I was worried about was Dexter Holland. I didn't know. He's not the greatest singer in the world. And I didn't know if his voice was going to hold up through an hour and a half. Damned if it sounded good throughout the entire show.
Yeah. Sound was great. He sounded good on all the songs like you would have expected. And the banter between him and Noodles was great.
Now, I have problems with that.
Okay. I hate the whole build-up stuff.
They kept going with it over and over. This is the greatest show ever, the show that will save rock and roll. That's fine once.
But don't keep going with it.
4 or 5 times. Come on.
They went a little too far on that stuff.
Yes.
If they would have kept it, if they would have mixed it up a little bit better and just kept some playful banter, would have been better.
But yeah, I got tired of that.
They overhyped it way too much.
Yeah, the content. We've saved rock and roll.
Ever.
You guys are the best audience ever in the history of rock and roll. Okay.
Yeah, no, you say that everywhere. Okay. We know it. We're not stupid.
Us. Just play another song.
Fuck.
It's still better than, like you said, Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day
yelling out, fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Oh, by the way, do you know now that they're selling Nimrod shirts with Donald Trump's picture on them? Green Day officially is. But they're giving the money to charity. Isn't that Billy Joe Armstrong just the greatest guy in the world? That fucker needs to be on the plane of doom.
Shut up.
He needs to be on the plane of doom.
Just shut up and sing.
For ruining our Green Day show with this political bullshit, and now just he keeps going with it and going with it and going with it. He needs to go on the plane of doom.
He's in line.
I can't stand it when you idiots bring in politics. We don't want to hear what Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan or John Mellencamp or Billy Joe Armstrong
We don't
think
care
about
your
politics. Vote for who the fuck you want and move on. How simple is that?
Shut up and entertain me. That's what I paid for.
All right, so how do we grade this? I would prefer to grade the Offspring separately from the other two. The Offspring get 3.5 frenzies.
Boom. Right on the mark.
The other ones, week 2.5.
2.5, yes.
I'll give a week 2.5.
Yeah.
Again, not the worst I've ever seen.
No. Week 2.5 for both of them.
Combined.
Combined. Yeah.
Sorry, all you millennials out there who are mad at us for not liking Sum 41 and Simple Plan as much as you do.
Guess what? That's not who we went to see.
Yes, and they are never, ever going to be as good as the Offspring ever on their best day. They will never be good as the Offspring.
And the odds are we will never see them again.
No.
If we get a chance for Offspring, damn Skippy.
Oh, I'll go see them again. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hells to the yes.
Just for the sing-alongs. I mean, the sing-along, the crowd getting involved is so much fun with the Offspring. You know, between Self-Esteem, Pretty Fly for a White Guy. Why don't you get a job?
for crying out loud.
Well, we all know that. Hey, let's go.
But yeah, no,
all
it was just
and nowhere to go.
Hell, even Let the Bad Times Roll. Everybody knew this.
Yeah, even though that was probably the least popular song of what they played,
but everybody knew it.
Right. Still want Slim Pickens.
I know. We gotta have Slim Pickens.
We should do it. Burn, baby, burn. Let that motherfucker burn. Sorry, can't resist.
Had to do it.
All right, 2 song reviews this week. 2 big ones. 2 very significant song reviews. We have a new Rival Sons album coming out here in a couple months to pair with
Part 2.
Yeah, it seems like a double album marketing strategy scheme.
We had Dark Fighter, and now they're following up with
Lightbringer. And so the first single from Lightbringer is Sweet Life, which I absolutely freaking love.
This was phenomenal.
This has got like a double chorus, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, they're
because as they sing, "I want the sweet life," then they transition to "I gotta shake the bad rhythm." Oh my God, it's brilliant!
I love it.
It's got a killer guitar solo. I mean, it's 3.5 frenzies.
3.5 right on the mark. So good.
Yes. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we will be able to tell you live if it's still as good.
Hopefully this is one they play.
I would think they would play at least this.
I would hope.
But
we'll see.
We're only going to... it sucks so much. Every time I think about how excited I am about seeing them, we're going to get half an hour.
Because they're going to be first.
Yeah. They deserve so much more than this.
I want to see them as a headline.
Yes. I want an hour and a half of Rival Sons. I want an hour and a half. Yes. Give me them at Pierre's. I'll pay $40, $50. Let me see a full set. Like I say with Living Color a couple weeks ago. When
We've never gotten a full set.
I want full an hour and a half set from these bands that I've never gotten to see them from. You know? But yeah, Sweet Life is so good. So good. Promise for the second album of the year from Rival Sons. Now, the Juggernaut, the Behemoth.
The Guns N' Roses newest song, Perhaps.
I have an interesting take on this song. Let me hear yours first. Because I know Mrs. C didn't like it all that much.
Yeah,
from what
funny you say interesting, because I find this kind of an interesting mix. Are they trying to do a ballad? Where are they trying to go with this one? It's almost caught in between something.
I agree. But here's how I look at it. Let's go back in time. Like in Wayne's World. Let's go back in time to November Rain. That overblown, bloated, massive Guns N' Roses ballad / rocker, where again, like you were saying, it never seemed like they were able to figure out what they were going to do with the song.
Right.
Now, of course, it's a legendary song now in rock history. I don't personally.
It's not one of my favorites.
I don't personally think it's the greatest song in the world.
No.
I look at Perhaps as a condensed, tighter, better version of November Rain. If you listen to it, it's got a lot of the same earmarks.
It's got the piano, the heavy piano pieces to it.
Right. Hi. You know, it seems to me like they're trying to almost make amends to fans like us for November Rain and say, here's what we really wanted to do with it. We're sorry that went 10 minutes long. Here's a half the time, 5-minute version where it's tighter, more condensed, better. So I like Perhaps.
I didn't hate it. It's decent. The more you listen to it, it grows on you.
Yeah.
So
now I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm putting it at a strong 2.5.
See, I go week 3. Because again, it seems to me like they're trying to give you a better version of November Rain.
There you go.
I would rather listen to Perhaps any day now than November Rain.
I will give you that.
Because by the time we get to 8 minutes November Rain, I'm going to be in the bathtub slitting my wrists. Yes. The bathtub is filling with the blood from my veins.
Yeah. November Rain comes on, I'm usually changing the channel.
So, here we go, though, to wrap up the music section of Sports Frenzy 2.0, the Weekend Edition. Dave, did you watch America's Got Talent last night?
I forgot completely about it because being sick last night, I was dying and was zoned out.
It's okay.
Did Steel Panther bring it?
Steel Panther played last night on America. Steel freaking Panther.
How are they on America's Got Talent? They're already touring. They're already ahead.
They told the panel we've got like 6 albums, and it didn't seem to matter.
We got 6 albums. We've been on tour.
They played Death to All But Metal.
Isn't that what I told you they were going to play?
Yes. They changed the lyrics as they had to. Everybody noted that. As we tape tonight, August the 30th, for this show airing September the 2nd, tonight, the voting results will be revealed if they make the next cut. I did not realize they were on the show in May.
What?
They were on the show in May, and they played Eyes of a Panther. That's how they got through to this level.
How are they even on America's Got Talent when they are already a success story?
I don't know. I'm with you. I'm completely boggled by this.
Dumbfounded.
Watching the clips on YouTube.
We've seen them in concert twice.
Watching the clips on YouTube just is surreal. Again, as you say, we've seen them. We know
who they are and what they are.
Watching the clips is just phenomenal. Watching the reactions of the panelists, the crowd loved it.
Well, of course they did.
Except they had a plant. They had a guy, no offense, looked like you. Little older, probably 60s. Of course, putting his fingers in his ears.
Then the guy was an idiot.
Everybody else was on their feet, rocking, clapping as they played Death to All But Metal. Now, watching the panelists, I was like, oh boy, they don't like this. Sofia Vergara didn't know what she was doing. She's kind of looking over at Heidi Klum.
Does she ever know what she's doing?
Simon Cowell looks like he's trying to push a watermelon out of his anus.
That's standard.
And then they finally, after the boys finish up in Steel Panther, they go to the panelists, and they're all like, that was the greatest performance I've ever seen in my life. Simon Cowell goes, I didn't love it, or I didn't like it, and everybody starts booing him. He goes, I loved it. You guys take yourself seriously, but yet you don't take yourself seriously. And of course,
Heidi Klum had to have loved it because that's her genre.
And of course, they immediately offer lifelong backstage passes to Sofia Vergara and Heidi Klum.
Of course they do.
Not trying to influence the judges at all.
How about you come on stage and we do Oklahoma?
This just blew me away, though. I told you about this last weekend going down to the Offspring concert. Are they really going to be on America's Got Talent? I got the teaser in my email.
Wrong? I want to see Sofia Vergara on the stool as they sing Oklahoma.
And they loved Michael Steele's high notes, where he does his David Lee Roth stuff. They love that. They were like, oh, he led the high notes.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, it's surreal. It is freaking surreal watching Steel Panther on America's Got Talent. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
How did they keep it clean?
But they still said butt and ass.
Well, yeah.
And I also saw the warm-up. They got a warm-up before they went live.
Did they do Glory Hole?
No, they went back and did Eyes of a Panther again. Yeah, they're not going to be able to clean up Glory Hole, Dave.
What about Asian hookers?
Bukkake tears. No, but they were still saying, I loved, it just kills me.
It's surreal.
Death to Blink 182. They can kiss my ass. They still got to say most of it.
Oh my God.
I love it. This is just ridiculous how good this is. Steel Panther on national television acting like they're an up-and-coming band. How the hell have we snowed America like this?
I love it. Good for them.
I tell you what we're going to do, kids.
Good for them.
I tell you what we're going to do. As we take a break here,
we're going to look and see
if the voting results are in for tonight's America's Got Talent and see if Steel Panther made the cut to the next round. He's your Uncle Dave.
He's your Uncle Kev.
We will be right back. Hello, I'm James Cameron, prestigious film director. And since it takes me over a decade to make a movie, I've got plenty of time between takes to listen to my favorite podcast, Sports Frenzy 2.0, on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Stitcher, Amazon, and Audible. Hey, wait, I'm having an epiphany. I have a new idea. Summer of 2035. Blue robots from the future on a doomed ocean liner. Oh, brilliant. Where's Arnold? Get me Schwarzenegger. What about DiCaprio? Oh, what about Edward Furlong? We know he's not doing anything.
All right, kids, welcome back to segment 2 of the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0, hitting here September 2nd. Happy Labor Day weekend from your Uncle Kev.
And your Uncle Dave. Stay safe. Do not drink and drive. Don't be an asshole. If you go see a concert,
be respectful of those around you.
Didn't even bring that up when we were talking about the Offspring show.
No, but there we go. All right, but it's transition time to the movies on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Amazon, Audible, iHeart, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox.
No Stitcher.
No Stitcher.
Stitcher.
They're done. Kaput.
They're over. And unfortunately, for an update, Steel Panther is done as well.
They did not go on America's Got Talent. But that's all right. They didn't need that crap.
No, they've got us. They've got you. We are the Steel Panther Army.
Panther Nation.
There you go. death to all but metal. All right, here we go. It's always fun when Dave and I know we're going to have a review where there's going to be a
little
chasm.
A little dissension here. It's going to be bigger.
Just a little dissension. Because I am telling you, I love this movie. I love it, and I
am surprised that you enjoyed it that much.
I shed a tear.
Come on!
I did! For want of a nail, the horse was lost. For want of a can of tomatoes, what would have happened to the lives of the Flash? Everybody else, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman.
Over a can of tomatoes.
Super hot new Superwoman.
Yeah, she was pretty perky.
Yes, we are talking about The Flash, which, no pun intended, is a lightning rod movie in that it seems like it's
polarizing.
People. Yes.
You love it or you don't.
I just absolutely fell in love with it. I don't know why, but I loved it. I'm a sucker, number one. Let me put this out there. I am a sucker for time travel movies. When you start talking about changing the past and the repercussions, Back to the Future movies, they were talking this morning about Denzel Washington's Deja Vu, which I absolutely
Deja
love.
Vu was great.
But again, it's another time travel movie.
If they're done right.
This is done very well. Dare I say, better than the TV show. Because you look back at how the TV show handled the time travel stuff.
They failed miserably with
This is a condensed version of that. And then when we find out who's one of the main villains is, of course, another villain. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It's only been on Max.
When you're in the Speed Force.
Right.
That was a nice little twist within the Speed Force.
Right. And then we get a lot of guest appearances by a lot of former stars from the DC superhero universe.
Superman. You run the gambit.
Yep. Definitely a lot of Batman and Superman. And some of them very intriguing and very interesting.
It was the big problem I had. Was the way Ezra played 18-year-old Barry.
It didn't bother me that much.
It didn't grated on my freaking nerves.
I will tell you
But I'm not a fan of the way Ezra plays the Flash. To me, it's too much Shazam-y.
See, no, I would never say that because I hate Shazam and I hate the way they've done that and written it with Zachary Levi. I thought, now I will say this, the first scene in the movie with Ezra Miller where he shows up trying to replenish himself because, of course, the Flash has a super metabolism.
He needs his food now.
Yes, and I will say, he botched that first scene. He's like, his eyelids are fluttering, and I'm like, okay, come on, dude. We're looking at you, the camera's face on you, and you're looking away, fluttering your eyelids. Okay, you're not going into a diabetic coma.
Yeah.
Okay, let's actually act like you're... After that, though, it was
current
fine.
Flash, after that going through, when he's in the time travel thing, current Flash was great.
Because he ended up being more mature. He ended up being the
he
mature,
actually found
solid core of the story.
He found himself there.
Right.
But just the whole it grated too much.
The whole millennial thing with him and his buddies.
Yeah. That was a little too much. That I just
didn't bother me. Didn't bother me because he's gonna have to learn how to be the Flash. That's why he kind of had to be forced to get the powers, because Barry thought, I have got to make sure this version of me gets the powers
goes forward, so I don't dissipate.
And then the whole Batman explanation.
Now, the
I
whole
won't say,
Michael Keaton was...
See, you just said I was not going to go there.
Everybody knows. You've seen the previews.
Okay, fine. Well, you've done it. It's not on me! It's on him!
Everybody knows from the previews.
I know. And I was waiting for him to say, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
No,
but his
The
explanation...
whole spaghetti...
Yes, the spaghetti explanation of the time-space continuum was actually brilliant. Brilliant. And it ends up coming in at the end.
Yep. Because there are points that you just cannot...
Right. There's intersections, there's overlaps, and then there's ones that go completely divergent. And he explains the whole time-space thing brilliantly in saying, you're not starting from the same point. That's the problem. You think you're starting from the same point. You've already altered your origin point.
Yeah.
It's not a Y, it's an X. I loved it. I absolutely loved
that
it.
Point.
I loved it, though. I loved the whole thing. Stick around through the very end of the credits. You get a little bonus scene at the very, very end.
See, no, I didn't even bother to get through the credits.
No.
They lost me when Bruce came in at the end. If you would have just, who the fuck is this?
See, I thought that was
and
funny.
Cut it there without seeing who it was, would have been a better transition going into the next phase, not knowing who the next Bruce Wayne Batman is going to be.
I loved it. I thought it was hysterical.
So I thought it was too effing hokey.
But I shed a tear when he had to put the can of tomatoes back. Again, you have to watch the movie to understand what I'm talking about.
Then I guess I'm just a heartless bastard.
For the want of a nail, the horse was lost. And for the want of a can of tomatoes, the Flash's life was ruined. Although I loved how they twisted that at the end, and he still got some redemption.
To move the cans.
Yes, that was
brilliant.
That was brilliant.
That was good.
That was brilliant.
I did enjoy that.
Yes. See, I loved it. 3.5 Frenzies. One of the best movies of the year. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I cried. I loved it. Much better than I was expecting. One of my favorite movies of the year. See, again, how do you give that a 2? I don't get it.
It didn't do anything for me.
It was fantastic.
There were parts that were really good.
And you need to explain to me how Spider-Man was so much better. Because, we saw Andrew Garfield and we saw Tobey Maguire. How is that so much different from this? This was better. We got more versions of multiple characters. And it worked. It worked for the most part. It
kind of did. It just didn't do it for me.
And I love Spider-Man.
It didn't do it for me. Sorry.
I know you're in a lot of people agree with you, but I am on the other side. I think
at least I gave it a chance. My boys refused to watch it. At least I gave it an option. At least I tried and got through.
You know what I'm getting your son for his birthday coming up? A can of tomato sauce. And then he can figure out.
Get it. And he won't care.
He can figure out why.
Which would be funny because he freaking hates tomatoes.
I might have to do that. Since he hasn't shown up on the podcast yet,
He's like your other son, week.
Like your other son did.
I said, you coming? No. Next week? Probably.
Well, then we have to figure out a movie review. Oh, why don't we review one of those John Carpenter movies since you've had my DVD for 3 months?
Month and a half.
3 months.
Month and a half.
Review Prince of Darkness.
We haven't watched it yet.
I know. That's why you haven't given me the movie back. I'm
waiting for the two of them.
Well, now you have an excuse.
So we'll see if I can get them to do it.
Did you end up watching They Live?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. I know that was the main reason.
Yeah. Oh, no. We watched that right away.
Okay. I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. I'm telling you, kids, put your skepticism aside. I am completely down with the fact that the DC movies and the Marvel movies over the last couple of years have sucked balls. But I'm telling you, The Flash is worth it. It is definitely worth the hype.
It
that
has
you heard
its
from
moments.
James Gunn, that you heard that when they said this could arguably be the linchpin moving forward for the James Gunn universe.
It has its moments.
Oh, it's better than that.
It has its moments.
It's better than that. And I need somebody to get on the Facebook page and text me, where can I get a kryptonite condom? Because I'm telling you, I don't care if it makes me sound pervy. This new Superwoman, Supergirl is smoking hot. Smoking hot.
The short, dark hair.
Worked for me, and I wasn't
worked.
expecting it. I saw the previews, and I was like, oh, great. What, we got a lesbian Superwoman? What is this? And I'm like, oh, man,
She's...
Yeah. My little Batman is, calling for Alfred.
Oh, God.
Jesus. Wow. I had a good time with this movie. I loved it so much. Again, I cannot emphasize how much I love this movie. And I do not like most movies. And you're going to say I'm an idiot, but I liked it. I liked it more than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
The hell are you smoking?
Not even close.
What are you smoking?
I don't need the little kids and animals rescue scene at the end. At least The Flash didn't sell out like that.
Whatever. We'll agree to disagree.
And I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but this was not nearly as good, Volume 3, as The Flash. Sorry, not even close. And when we get to the year-end rankings, The Flash will definitely be in my top 5. Guardians 3. Now, you know what opens this weekend, which I might actually sneak out and see? Denzel Washington as the Equalizer in Part 3.
I know.
I might go see that. Because Denzel can do no wrong. Can do no wrong.
There you go. The boys are already plotting.
Expendables 4.
Yes.
Yep.
They want you to go.
Oh, I'm down with that.
So
I might have to watch 3 again because I'm really fuzzy on 3. I don't know if I was falling asleep while I was watching it or what, but I need to rewatch 3.
Yeah.
Beforehand, but
yeah, we were talking about watching all 3 before going in.
There you go. Why not?
What the hell?
Then we'll just talk about and review them all here on Story Time on Sports Frenzy, the weekend edition.
There we go. I'll see if I can drag both of them in for that event.
All right, kids. See? Movies. Couple of movie news tidbits to wrap up the segment. Of course, this writers, actors strike. Yeah, I have no sympathy. Oh my God, Hollywood wants to make us homeless. Shut up! You know nothing about what it's like to be homeless. Stop using... I hate people who do that. I'm going to be homeless if I don't get this job. I'm going to be homeless if I don't get this raise.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have been greedy bastards.
If you're truly going to be homeless, fine. But people exaggerate.
Then find another job.
People exaggerate.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
And these stupid ass pampered writers in Hollywood sticking up signs like that. You have no idea what it's like to be homeless. You probably walk by homeless people on your way home and look at them with disdain. You don't know what it's like to be homeless. Don't put up a sign saying, the studios want to make us homeless. You jackasses. So
how about they actually want decent storylines?
Yeah,
maybe if you didn't put out crap, maybe if you stopped redoing everything over and over and over again.
I have gotten into arguments with people about this, where, again, the union angle comes into play. But I say AI is not the key. Oh, yes, AI is the key issue.
No, it's
they're trying to
not.
protect themselves from AI. No,
No,
they want more
no.
money. There's no way that Hollywood studios are gonna, oh, let's let a robot write the script.
Yeah,
Come
not gonna
on.
happen.
Come on. They want more money. They're greedy, just like every goddamn union on the face of the earth. Unions serve no purpose anymore other than to be a funnel for organized crime and corruption. 80 years ago, we needed them to make sure workplaces were safe. Safety measures were being followed.
Fair
Underage
wages were
workers.
there.
Right. We don't need unions anymore. All unions do is destroy businesses. Oh, I want $80 an hour to put a widget
Together.
on a car assembly line. Kiss my ass. How about that? So now the big domino has fallen, what I've been trying to lead up to here, in between my rant about unions and choking on my own phlegm, is Dune Part 2 has moved. This was the big movie of the fall season, the fall and winter season. So it has been pushed back now by Warner Brothers to March the 15th. So now you wonder, is Disney going to blink? Are they going to move the Marvels? And then is it
Does it
going to be...
really matter with the Marvels?
Well, I want the Marvels to fail miserably because it looks stupid as hell. And all the Disney movies that have been associated with Marvel since they bought out Marvel have been awful.
Yes, they have.
Guardians of the Galaxy does not count because that's a James Gunn production. He had carte blanche because he had the power in that situation to tell Disney, you want Volume 3? I do it my way. The other directors do not have that kind of power.
No.
And that's why all the other ones, Ant-Man, Quantumanium,
everything's just been subpar.
Yeah.
If the studios had the balls, they would stay on their release dates.
But again, Dave, they can't promote the movie.
Who needs the frickin' actors to do the red carpet for a grand opening night? Nobody. We, as movie fans, could give a rat's ass about the pretentious bullshit. Like we said with music, shut up and entertain me. Put the movie on the screen and we'll go.
And
stop penalizing us for the bullshit.
And yeah, we are caring more about trailers online, trailers in the theaters. I'm not going, well, Scarlett Johansson wore that really, really awful red dress at the opening for her upcoming movie, so I'm not going to go see it.
Who cares about the opening crap? We don't. The only ones who do is Hollywood and the pretentious asshats.
Couldn't have said it better. So we'll see. I've said, keep the strike going. I'll watch old movies. I'll catch up on the stuff I haven't watched over the last 10 years. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'll watch football all through the winter. I don't need Hollywood. They need me more than I need them. And that's the problem. That's what they don't understand, is they need us more than we need them.
Yep, we've got plenty to do.
Because their little strike doesn't take away all the classic movies that we can go back and rewatch. We can revisit classic moments, great moments, and don't have to deal with their bullshit.
We can watch the original stuff that was so much better than the remakes.
Okay, now this is fun. You know, all the movies that made fun of other movie genres, the parodies.
Yeah.
Of course, we go
the Not Another Teen Movie.
Right. Yeah,
Scary Movie.
I don't like to blaspheme the great ones, like Airplane. That's in a class of its own. I don't like to bring that in because that's...
Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah. But yeah, more like the Not Another Teen Movie, vampires suck kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one coming out, but I think you will like the casting in this one. Now, I have not heard if this is an official parody movie or not, but it is called Not Another Church Movie.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
God will be played by Jamie Foxx.
I was hearing stuff about this one.
The devil will be played by Mickey Rourke. That has potential.
That has potential. It has potential.
But again, I'm going by the title, you would be led to believe it's part of that whole series. It's got to
be a parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mickey Rourke is the devil. Like, who didn't come up with this sooner? How has this been sitting out there forever and nobody came up with this? All right. After our contentious fight about The Flash, I think Dave and I need a break.
Yep, we'll be back. TV streaming and all the other stuff.
Lots of moments of silence. We're going to have to really spend a lot of time with a lot of people, especially a couple heavyweights, no pun intended, in the world of wrestling. And of course, we do have some dumbasses. I actually have one of the rare occasions where I have a badass and a dumbass, the same person. Two different things.
This will be
same
fun.
Person.
This
same
will
person.
be fun.
Same person, same interview. Badass, dumbass.
Wow.
So, and it's somebody that we usually know and love on the music side of things.
There we go.
Stay tuned for that, kids. Uncle Dave and I will be right back for one final segment. Hi, I'm Harrison Ford, and when I'm not listening to Sports Frenzy on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Stitcher, Amazon, and Audible, I'm out promoting my latest movie, even though I'm in my 80s. Right now I'm working on my next Indiana Jones adventure. Indiana Jones and the Adult Diaper of Danger. So grab your your popcorn, and head out to the movies. Hey, did I hear Short Round won an Oscar? I don't have one of those. Son of a bitch. How did that happen? No time for love, Dr. Jones, my ass. All right, kids, third and final segment here on the weekend edition, taping August the 30th. This will hit Labor Day weekend, Saturday morning, September the 2nd. He's the conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane.
All right, we've covered rock and roll. We've covered movies. Had a lot of fun with that. Some dissension. Some crazy, wild memories from the Offspring.
Good stuff.
But now we move on to our TV and streaming segment where we talk about our favorite shows. Right now we've got a lot of them. Now we've got Justified City Primeval wrapping up.
Yep, as we tape, the night before was the finale.
Which, of course, has been spoiled for me.
I've stayed away.
Fuckers! How do you start an article spoiling an episode, a series, and then in the next sentence go, if you read this article, this article will contain spoilers. Assholes! Assholes! I will catch up, though. I will still watch the entire season.
How many are you behind?
5?
Ouch. Okay.
5, probably. But we don't have movies on the agenda for next week. We're probably going to piecemeal that, so I have time.
We'll figure something out there.
I've got an extra day off from work, no concerts. You know, you guys unfortunately bailed on your concert, which is fine. I did that 2 weeks ago. So.
There's one. This is a busy weekend. There's too much going on.
Right.
Something had to give.
Yep. So, What We Do in the Shadows, episode 8 already of season 5.
9 will be it.
Is it 9? 9's the season finale?
Yep.
They're not even getting to double digits?
Nope.
Oh, fuck me.
At the end of last week, they said, and for the season finale.
I didn't see that. Oh, God, that sucks. That sucks.
Yes, it does. I hope I heard wrong, but I don't think I did.
No, I'm sure you've heard right, because these assholes shorten the seasons, expect us to put up with it, and then wait 2 years for the next season.
Yeah, especially now.
So season 5, episode 8, The Roast, as they try to pull Laszlo out of his doldrums by staging a roast. And it goes horribly wrong, especially for Guillermo.
And for the elder vampire. The Count.
Yes, they bring him back in. And of course, somehow it comes out that Guillermo was the one that opened the door and let the sunlight in and burned him almost irreparably.
Death. Almost. Now the blood vengeance is there to kill Guillermo in revenge. But lo, Nandor brokers a truce.
Despite the fact that
there's a huge secret out there.
And then Laszlo is old. I've been working all this time on trying to figure out if I should alphabetize my books by author or by title.
Yes, thank you, carry on.
Yeah. That's all he does. The whole episode, he's in a trance. And anytime anybody asks him something, he goes, yes, thank you, carry on.
Yeah, Guillermo thought he broke Laszlo from him trying to figure out why he's not transitioning as he should. Everybody else is like, what's going on? We can't get a rise out of him.
Laszlo's the best. But I'm sad to hear that next week is the season finale. That just sucks.
Yeah.
9 episodes.
Yeah.
God.
It's pathetic.
This world makes me just
cringe.
Hate it more and more every day. What's going to be next? 5 episodes is a season? 4? 3? And then, but you're going to pay $40 a month to stream this channel.
Yeah, no,
to get 4 episodes of this show.
This is getting absolutely stupid ridiculous.
And I've already said I'm getting rid of Max. Max is the biggest joke on the face of the earth. Now that I've seen The Flash, I'll watch Night Moves, burn up my last month, and I'm done. I'm out because it's garbage. It's all reality television and documentary garbage. Cheapest stuff they can make.
Well, yeah, because they're cost cutting. Frustrating as hell.
I'm telling you, got 2 years, and this stuff is all going to come to a head.
The whole streaming thing is going to blow up.
Well, what's going to happen is people are going to have to make the decisions. Which channels are you going to keep? And you're only going to be able to keep 1 or 2.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to afford all of them.
Not like now.
And most likely you're going to keep Amazon because you get the shipping.
Right.
And then you're going to keep Netflix probably. And then after that,
it's a rotation.
Yep. And you're going to start to see these companies and these channels panic. And they're going to say, come, we'll get $1 for a year, $1 a month for a year. Because they hope after the year,
you'll stick with it.
And you'll stick with them and then pay $10 a month.
Yeah. Probably not going to happen.
Now, unfortunately, Dave did not catch up, was not able to watch Tacoma FD this week.
That's the one that I did not get caught up on. I'm caught up with Justified.
Which I'm not.
Caught up with the vampires.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about episode 6 of season 4 of Tacoma is that it's odd timing. Given the time of year, it's a Valentine's Day episode.
Really?
Yes. Now that is not a comment. It's not a commentary on the quality of the episode.
No, it's still just awesome, the timing.
But
all right.
To see a Valentine's Day episode in late August was kind of odd.
Whatever they want to do. It's Broken Lizard. They can do what they want.
They probably go, when we never get to do a Valentine's Day episode based on when we air.
Right. In the fall, here we go.
Yep. Good news for you. A show that you like, I know. The Lincoln Lawyer
Renewed for season 3.
Yes, news came out today.
Very cool.
Netflix has renewed The Lincoln Lawyer for season 3.
Excellent.
So eventually I will watch the movie, and then I will watch the TV show.
Someday it will come out whenever this strikes end.
Yeah, that's true. How long is it going to be before you get season 3?
Yeah.
All right. Now we have to unfortunately move on to Moments of Silence, and this is going to take some time. Especially because, of course, I'm not watching as much wrestling as I did during the pandemic. But, I still pay attention. I still watch the big events, what we would call the pay-per-views. Now they're called the premium events.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm not watching Raw. I'm not watching SmackDown. I got too much other stuff to do. But 2 very different but very significant passings in the wrestling world. Now, first up, Hall of Famer Terry Funk passed away. Now, anybody who grew up my generation knows Terry Funk.
Terry Funk was a badass.
Yep. Branding iron.
Yep.
Had rivalries with all the biggest stars in the WWE. Definitely deserved being in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. He was always fun to watch.
Along with his brother,
Yep.
Dory. Now, the other one is kind of shocking in that this is a wrestler, a character who just came back last year to the WWE after a little bit of time off. Had won the WWE Championship as The Fiend. 36 years old. Now, going back with the legacy stuff again. Stage name, wrestling name, Bray Wyatt. Real name, Wyndham Rotunda.
The Rotunda family.
Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda were one of the greatest tag teams in the 80s.
Yes.
Barry Windham went on to become one of the Four Horsemen. But Windham and Rotunda were a fantastic tag team in the 80s. So obviously you can tell by the name, Bray Wyatt was the son of Mike Rotunda. Barry Windham was his uncle.
Yeah.
So legacy there. Big time wrestling legacy.
Cut down too soon by a heart attack.
Yes. 36 years old again. The wrestling world mourns the loss of Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. Unfortunately, it does not end there. We lost arguably the greatest game show host of all time.
Bob Barker. God rest his soul.
Can I say The Price is Wrong, bitch? I think he'd be okay with that.
I think he would be okay. As I said when I heard it, I said, The Price is bankrupt.
Well, I've seen people say, God said, Bob Barker, come on up.
Yep. So, an American institution on daytime game shows for, 35 years as the host of The Price is Right?
Yeah, had to be at least, yeah. And a lot of people don't realize very, very strong animal rights advocate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. At the end, make sure you get your pet spayed or neutered to control the pet population.
Yep.
That was always his sign-off.
Yeah. And Dave and I grew up in the golden age of game shows. We got the best of the best. You kids nowadays getting Drew Carey and Wayne Brady, that's nothing compared to we had Monty Hall, we had Bob Barker, Gene Rayburn.
Gene Rayburn was the greatest.
With his microphone, his big stick microphone on Match Game.
Oh my God. Match Game was the best ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep. So when somebody like Bob Barker passes away, it hurts. It does hurt. Because
that's a part of our childhood that's gone now.
Yep. Chuck Woolery.
Oh.
Yep. Some of those guys were the best of all time when it came to hosting game shows. All right. Rock and roll. little-known member of Whitesnake, although he did co-write the massive hit Here I Go Again. Bernie Marsden has passed away. Going back to our childhood, Hersha Paraday played, I believe, the school teacher on Little House on the Prairie.
Yep.
And then, more recently, in the animated world, Arlene Sorkin, who voiced Harley Quinn multiple shows across the DC animated universe, has passed away. I'm sure Nick would know that in 2 seconds.
Oh, I'm sure. Since he's all about the animated Batman and everything.
Yep. All right, so let's do my little fun twist here.
Yes, let's go from one extreme to the other within the same interview.
So, obviously, we're having trouble lately finding Clint Eastwood badasses of the week. Just nobody's jumping out and doing the kind of stuff that we would recognize as positive in terms of voicing their opinion on things that go against the grain when it comes to PC.
Or just doing the right thing, period.
But I have one that did the right thing in the same interview as he stepped in it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do my Clint Eastwood Badass of the Week and then immediately transition
to Dumbass.
To the Red Foreman Dumbasses, so he's going to get both.
All right.
And this is a gentleman that Dave and I just recently saw live in concert.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Appearing on Bill Maher's podcast this past week, John Mellencamp.
Oh, John.
Now, he gets my Clint Eastwood Badass of the Week for something that I've been saying for years and years. And he has got the guts, the balls, to actually stand up and say it in front of a microphone. And who cares what anybody thinks? This is what you get with the dichotomy that is John Mellencamp. You're going to get the good, you're going to get the bad. John Mellencamp told Bill Maher this week on his podcast, I hate rap and hip-hop music because they consistently use the N-word as they try to sell the music to a bunch of little pampered white boys. Have we not been saying this for years and years? At least John Mellencamp has the guts to come out and say it like it is, in this respect. He admits he hates rap and hip-hop because of the use of the N-word. Good for him. But
then he does a 180.
We have to do what, Dave?
The pivot to the dumbasses.
In the same interview with Bill Maher, John Mellencamp came out and said, well, you do realize that only 1 to 2% of people of color living in the U.S. have a better life than they had when they were slaves.
Ugh.
Then Bill Maher looks at him and says, are you absolutely kidding me? And then Mellencamp goes, well, maybe 10%. And then Maher goes, can you give us a number, John? And he goes, well, I'm just talking out of my ass right now. I'm just pulling these numbers out of my ass.
Yeah,
here's the problem, John.
Nobody is a slave right now.
Don't bring up the topic if you can't give a specific number when it comes to something this serious.
How stupid.
To actually
and
say
ignorant.
1 to 2% of black people in the U.S. right now have a better life than they did when they were slaves. Or their ancestors, I should say. And then say, well, I'm just talking out of my ass as I keep changing the number.
What an idiot.
You are making the topic insignificant, and you are a dumbass for even
bringing it up.
Yes.
There was no reason for you to bring that up. None whatsoever.
And unfortunately, this is what we get with a lot of liberals.
Ugh.
And I'm not trying to single out one political party over another, but liberals love to do this. They throw numbers out there. They make bold statements,
That
crazy
can't
statements,
back it up.
and they can never back them up.
Well,
But are we done yet with the political correctness? Hell no.
no.
Are we done yet with the political correctness in rock and roll? No, because the last two dumbasses that I have are both in rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, we can also go on the other political side where, what was it, Donald Trump said that his interview with Tucker Carlson was watched by more people than Oprah Winfrey's interview of Michael Jackson. Another dumbass statement.
Yes. But for him, it's a lot easier for us to pick out dumbass statements.
Like almost everything he says.
Any politician, we can rip to shreds.
Yes.
For the stupid, hypocritical, dumbass things they say.
Yep. Way too easy.
So our favorite buddy, who I still think should be on the plane of doom, Billy Joe Armstrong, speaking of Donald Trump, of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong and Green Day are selling Nimrod shirts. Of course, that's one of the albums in the catalog of Green Day with Donald Trump's mugshot on them. Now, of course, they say, oh, well, we're giving all the proceeds to charity. So could somebody else get away with doing that with Joe Biden? And would you be okay with that? No, Billy Joe Armstrong, being the little bitch that he is an immature little bitch. I get tired of the spoiled brat punk attitude with this guy. We saw him in concert. He wasted $120 of our money because all he could do was say, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. Here's an idea. Play some fucking music.
We could have gotten an additional 3 songs out of you if you wouldn't have gone on your bullshit political rants.
And this is why people hate Hollywood and hate performers, is because they do this kind of garbage. I don't care if you hate Trump. You can hate him. I'm not a big fan anymore. But could you stop wasting our time with your little political views because you have the bully pulpit. You have the microphone. So you think you've got the right to tell all of us how you feel about a certain political candidate. But if I say fuck Joe Biden, I'm considered a bad guy. I'm a scumbag. I hate liberals. I hate Democrats. But you're allowed to sell t-shirts.
Yeah. Absolutely retarded that you think you have the right and nobody else does. It's America. We agree to disagree.
But again, he's going to say, well, I'm selling shirts for charity. So see, it
doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
So again, rock and roll, political correctness, intersect like spaghetti in the Flash. Alice Cooper is in trouble now because Alice Cooper dared to say that the whole transgender thing is a fad. So what happens? He loses a sponsor. Vampire, with a Y, Vampire Cosmetics, have dumped Alice Cooper because we feel we're all inclusive, and Alice Cooper's recent comments do not seem inclusive to us.
All right, whatever.
I don't understand why certain people are allowed to voice their opinion and others are not. I thought it was all about the First Amendment, free speech. We talk about the books. We talk about the fact that there are crazy people out there saying ban books, burn books, take these books off the shelves. And we're like, no censorship, no censorship.
And here you got somebody being censored.
But yet it's great to bully people into your political viewpoints.
Everybody has the right to their own opinion.
This world, it's going to implode. It is going to implode.
It's already on its way.
2 years. 2 years. And I guarantee this next election is going to be an abject failure.
Oh,
because it doesn't matter who wins, it's going to be somebody who's going to
whoever
destroy the
wins, the country loses.
Right. Because that's the system we've set up.
And you've got the media perpetuating it.
And the choices we've got because of the media perpetuating the choices, because of the fact that these people have all sold their souls. By the time they get to the point where they can run for president, you're not getting a high-quality candidate.
No.
You're getting somebody who is selfish, who is flawed, who is egotistical, who is corrupt.
And has the good of the American people nowhere near the top of their agenda.
And on that note of wisdom, I think we call it quits.
Yep, we're done for this week.
Check out the regular sports edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0 every Thursday morning, wherever you listen to your podcast, except for Stitcher. And then the weekend edition will be right back here again, your Saturday morning hangover cure, next Saturday morning. I believe that would be September the 9th.
Yes,
and
yes,
that would
it
be
would.
the morning when we're going to see Smashing Pumpkins and Rival Sons. Oh, and Interpol, whatever.
Whoever. Make Interpol go first, and then Rival Sons, and then Smashing Pumpkins.
I want more than 30 minutes from Rival Sons. Come on.
Amen.
All right, kids. Hope you enjoyed it. He's your Uncle Dave.
He's your Uncle Kev. We'll talk to you next week. Bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet